Good morning, and welcome to episode 11 of the Weekly Trail Report. The Weekly Trail Report is hosted by the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, bringing you all the information on events and activities taking place in the Watershed Trail Park region of Port Jervis. I'm your host, Tom Faggione, and join me every Friday, or sometimes Saturday, as we talk hiking and biking and all the events and activities in the Watershed Park region. Joining me this morning, as always, is Outdoor Club President Mike Ward, along with Club Ambassador, our good buddy Chip. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom.
It's great to have you guys here.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Chip.
Special Black Friday edition of our show.
Oh, Black Friday.
And we are, as always, in the smallest of all places, the little Army surplus store in Port Jervis. And we are constantly on the move here.
Size doesn't matter, Tom.
That's right. We always kind of set ourselves up here where we're either in a different location inside the building or a different aspect of inside the building. So trying something a little different here this morning. So when my back is turned to you, gents, don't take it as offense. We're going to be looking at all the questions and comments from our listeners that are listening on Facebook Live. So glad to have you guys here this morning. It is Black Friday. That means it's the day after Thanksgiving. How you guys feeling?
Feeling great. Cold?
I'm doing great.
I hope you both had a nice Thanksgiving yesterday.
I did, thank you.
You got that Garth Brooks look going today. What's with this? That's all good. We had a good day yesterday. Well, ended up not going down to D.C., and so at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm quickly trying to get dinner ready for my wife and I for the rest of the day, and I inadvertently called this guy.
Oh, yeah, 3:45 wake-up call. No, I was up already preparing for the meal of the day. Yeah, it was good.
I heard, good. Chip, you were destined to be KP duty yesterday?
I was indeed. I was selected for the potato detail.
And word is the potatoes turned out okay?
Pretty darn good, no complaints. I was using sandpaper to get the rind off the potatoes, though. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to get that 4-grit sandpaper out of the garage.
I told you not to use sandpaper. It doesn't work.
It worked.
It gums up.
It does.
Well, needless to say, nobody was taken away by ambulance, and everybody had a good time, right?
They did. Good time had by all.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's a special Black Friday edition of our show. Usually we do the show on Friday mornings at 7 a.m., but you know what? I needed that extra hour of sleep this morning.
Yes, he did.
These guys. I rolled into the parking lot this morning, and these guys are here already, and I mean, their cars were running, and I think they were about to leave on me, but I'm glad you guys...
considering it.
Considering you're always here early.
It is true, but today I was not late, but I wasn't my normal early. But I'm glad to be here today with you guys, as it is Black Friday. So many people are waking up. Most people in the real world are off today, and maybe they're sleeping in themselves and getting ready for a busy day. Of course, it's called Black Friday. I don't really like the term Black Friday. I'm a small businessman myself. I enjoy the idea of capitalism and commerce. So the idea of Black Friday has a negative connotation. And then, of course, you see how some of the bigger companies have really capitalized on Black Friday with the blow out the door specials and people being, running through the doors and fighting and pushing. So we don't have that here in our store.
I got an email from KitchenAid, and it was a Black Friday sale for all their black items.
Well, there you go. Something, I guess, to remember.
Black onyx.
How about that? And so, as everyone's getting set to maybe go out and deal with sales and the big buys of the day, we're here today for very special reasons. Is number one, it's Friday, so we got to talk about the conditions of the trails, but also we have some very special events we want to talk about coming up starting this weekend and all through the holiday season. So that's why we're here today, instead of out getting Chip his brand new vacuum cleaner, and you, Mike, your new your new mixer, and Chip's potato peeler. So
that's it.
Our
potato
show.
peeler.
How did you know I needed a vacuum cleaner?
I called Santa.
Oh, okay.
He knows.
Yeah.
But we're here today to talk about, and we do it every week in the show, and that is number one, we talk about the conditions of the trails. I know one condition right now. It was 3 degrees at my house this morning. It was cold. And so, Mike, give us a quick update as to the conditions of the trails in the Watershed Park region.
Do be careful when you're out there. Everything is icy. I was out there for a little time yesterday afternoon, And we do have a number of trees down, some relatively big trees on the trails. We'll get to those today. But we had winds in excess of 30 miles an hour up there constantly all afternoon. So things did come down. Thank you, Jimi Hendry, for letting us know about Cosmic Charlie and all the others that text in saying about down trees and limbs.
So my back is turned, Mike, so I was listening. That's why I got the headphones on. But also want to just let everybody know on Facebook, if you have any questions, and like, Mike just said, Jimi Hendry contacted Mike to tell him about conditions on the trails. If anyone's ever out on the trails, you see something, please contact anybody. You can always go online at Facebook to the Port Jervis Outdoor Club, or the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. That is the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. And just leave a little note. Hey, I was on, such and such a trail, and there's a tree down, or there's a tree that's leaning. Maybe we want to take care of it. And a member of the club will take care of it right away.
Yes, indeed.
So thanks a lot to Jimmy. We also want to give a couple big shout-outs. Chip, you came specially prepared today. And we're not talking about the hydration. We're talking about the headwear.
That's right. This here is for your good buddy in Texas, Mike.
And I know Mike is listening. He just chimed in there, and he says good morning. So, Mike, Chip's headwear in New York, he looks silly.
I do not look silly, Mike.
Yes, you do.
In Texas, you would look silly, but the hat would definitely fit in Texas.
Mike, I know you're appreciating my headwear today.
And also we have Councilwoman Maria Mann. She said good morning to you all.
Good morning, Maria.
Along with my buddy Jan. Jan, hey, thanks so much to you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. So it's great to have all these people chiming in, that they're actually listening.
Has Tom Sexton checked in?
Well, it depends on how much of that turkey he made yesterday.
No, well, I just want to let him know that, I don't know the answer to his question. I tried 2 bottles. That was way too much.
Well, the 2 bottles for his mashed potatoes,
For his
right?
mashed potatoes.
Well, we'll have to find out what his recipe is, as Tom is a good steward in the kitchen. I hope his kitchen skills are matched by the work he does at his shop, Tom's Auto, because Tom is my lead mechanic for my car. And I made it here safe, so he does good work. But we hope he's listening. And if anyone ever has a question on Facebook, you can type it right in there, and we'll ask Mike. Maybe we'll ask Chip. Okay, maybe we won't ask Chip.
You can ask me a question if you'd like to.
And back to trail conditions.
Yeah. See how that goes?
Yes, indeed.
So, Mike, obviously, Jimi Hendry had mentioned to you about a tree condition. But overall, what is there's been some snow flurries. There's remnants of the snow that fell. Give us an overview of what the trails look like right now.
Yeah, basically, the trails are still covered with leaf. We've had so many leaves come down at one time. Chip and I have been out blowing the trails. In fact, the day after the snow, I texted him and asked him if he wanted to come and help me blow the trails and blow the leaves off the trail. He didn't catch my drift on that, and he said, well, sure, I'll come out with you. It's like, how do you blow leaves under the snow?
I was just expressing my eagerness to get out there and make it safe for everybody to enjoy the trails and to have that day and time with you to teach me more about maintenance. And, I didn't get that you were joking with me.
And back to the trail conditions.
Right. Now, because you cannot blow leaves off of snow or snow off of leaves.
The point being, there are leaves still on the ground out there.
Yes.
And with the snow on top of it, it froze into piles. And it's slippery out there. But do be careful.
And we talk about the conditions. We're going to talk about the conditions throughout the winter because the trails are open.
Trails are open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
So we want people to go out and enjoy the trails, but we want you to make sure that you do it safely and that your experience is enjoyable. And the most important part of that is to listen in on Fridays, and that way you know what's going on. If maybe there was a trail that had substantial work or issues, we might tell you to maybe go a different path or a different route.
There's quite a bit of snow up north.
Yeah, as soon as you get, here in Port Jervis, you drive around, there's some remnants in the corners of parking lots, maybe the end of your driveway. But you go up that hill, just right up to Elks Brox Park, and you'll see that there's it's a different wilderness up there.
It is.
But the park and the trails are open. The park closes at night, but the trails are open.
Elks Brox Park closes at night.
So get out there during the day and enjoy, and know that if you see something, just let us know, and we'll take care of it right away. But we want you to go out and explore. We talked about, in last week's episode, the excitement of the different seasons that we have here in the Northeast, and we are definitely getting closer and closer to winter. And right now, it definitely feels like winter outside, and the conditions on the trails will definitely remind you it's winter. So take the necessary steps to being prepared when you go out. onto the trails, and that is, of course, wear very good boots.
And bright colors.
Boots, bright colors, and layers. That, I think, is the three layers, the three topics in terms of the conditions on the trails. How about the conditions of you? And that is, wear some good boots that are going to keep your feet warm. Wear bright colors. If you have anything that is reflective, bring it with you. Put it on the back of your backpack. You can wear a bright colored hat, bright colored vest, jacket, but just be visible up there. Mike, we talk about visibility not because of hunting, but because of hunting. And
yes, you never know what's going to happen, but we have been very, very safe out in the watershed. We haven't run across any problems yet. But just do be safe out there. You know, you do have people from the city who come up and think that any land is their land, and you never know. And fortunately, I have not come across anybody that I do not know up in the wilderness areas, but those people I do know have been forewarned.
And there is absolutely 100% no hunting allowed on any of these grounds.
No hunting, no armament whatsoever.
That's right.
Nothing.
So if you're up there, be visible, and there should be no situation where you'll see a hunter up there, but be visible anyways. And it's always good to be visible. You might see someone on a bike, and if a guy's riding on a mountain bike, and some of these trails are single path,
yeah, that's a very good point.
And just to remain visible, and I can tell you from my own experience, sometimes I hike up there with my headphones on. I like to tune out a little bit, and I have my headphones on. And there was one time I was going around a little switchback on one of the trails, and a guy was on his mountain bike, and he came up right behind me, and he was hollering. And of course, when he got close enough I could hear him. I finally heard him, but I was a bit startled. And I said to myself, you know what? I got to make sure I only put one earbud in when I'm up there. And also wear something a little brighter so I'm seeing a little bit further away. So those little precautions are very important.
Yeah, it goes to the question of, does a hiking Tom hear in the woods?
Indeed.
Yeah.
That is
Not when you have your headphones on.
Not with the headphones on. That is the question for the ages. But in keeping with the visibility, the other thing is it's cold out. It's single digits today in the morning. When you're out on the trails, Mike and Chip, you could talk about this a little bit. What's the proper way to get yourself outfitted to go?
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, just be aware that it might be 6 degrees outside, and right now, fortunately, we don't have much wind. Yesterday, it was 15 degrees, and yet the wind chill was in the minus numbers, and that really makes you want to put on many layers. Definitely hats. Cover your ears. Your nose is always susceptible to freezing. So every now and then, I know most people don't like to have a face mask on, but put your hand to your nose just to warm it up a bit. But always do wear a lot of layers.
Not to pick it, but to warm it up.
You had to go there.
I did.
Boy, you went deep.
I sure did.
Oh, deep indeed.
Deep into the green woods.
Oh boy.
Okay, enough of that.
That's why we keep Chip along. And the other thing is, you know what?
He sits in the center, so I can smack him, or you can smack him.
That's right. Certainly.
And I control the microphone over here, Chip. So
wise guy, eh?
Well, we'll find out. Another thing, too, is you can pick them up, and they're available at any of the big stores, also some of the small outdoor stores. The little pocket hand warmers are not a bad thing to have this time.
Oh, no.
of year.
In fact, we have a full moon hike tonight. If anybody needs them, I always carry extras with me. There's nothing better than having toe warmers in your boots and hand warmers in your pocket.
Can I duct tape all those warmers to my full-length body so that my whole body is warm?
I'll have to tell you a story sometime about my brother who has decided that he wants to get away from the world, and he lives in a box trailer. And I send him cases of these things every year.
Really?
And at night, he puts them on top.
Like a vest?
Yeah.
Oh, man. There we go. Yeah, speechless.
You are speechless.
Yeah, actually, what he does is he puts them in the bottom of his sleeping bag to keep his feet
sure.
warm and all that.
And believe it or not, those little things, a couple of those little hand warmers in your pockets of your jacket when you're hiking, it's so refreshing. You stick your hands in pockets and you're like, oh, man, that's great.
Oh, it is.
So tonight we're going to
Or
talk about...
I've known people that take them and stick them in their hats.
Chip might have them under his hat right now.
He's got squirrels under there.
Howdy, partners.
And there you go, my friends, Chip. But, Chip, the other subject of hiking and being out in this type of weather is dressing in layers.
Layers. Very important to dress in layers. As the temperature plummets, you're going to want to wear the layers. And as we pointed out in the past, right, Mike, as you're hiking, It's easy to take off a layer because you will sweat,
Yep.
and your temperature is elevated, and
And that's where the chill factor really comes in, is when you sweat. It's held in against your skin. You want clothing that breathes. And if it's held in on the skin, you're going to start to overheat. You're going to open up wide. Then you're going to cool down real quick, and you're not getting rid of that moisture.
And that is definitely more apparent when you're mountain biking as well, because with mountain biking, you're exerting energy, and then there are moments when you're actually downhilling, and that cold weather will chill you off real quick when that sweat evaporates
Think
off.
wind chill.
No doubt
Wind chill.
about
You
it.
definitely have wind chill. The wind may not be blowing, but if you're riding a bike at 10 miles an hour, that takes you into the minus numbers.
Chip and I might be 6 or 7 miles an hour, but nonetheless, it still can get pretty cold. So, two. Ouch. Hey, our good friend Melissa says good morning, guys. So good
morning,
to you,
Melissa.
good morning, Melissa.
Thanks so
Don't
much.
forget footwear, though. Not just good boots, but also make sure you wear more than one pair of socks. I know more people that freeze their toes.
Now, Mike, we were hiking last summer, and you mentioned that you wear 2 pairs of socks even in the summertime
I do,
sometimes?
because I wick away the moisture. So it's usually at summertime. It tends to be back and forth, but I'll wear a sock liner and then a nice heavy sock on top of that. It wicks away the moisture from your foot, and it keeps you a lot warmer. You don't feel the chill.
Quick product review. I bought some socks from our buddy TC out in Milford, and I'll tell you, they're called Darn Tough Socks. They're made in Vermont. They're American made, and they have they're wool blended socks. These socks are great for hiking. They're great for mountain biking. Great for running, and with the combination of materials inside them, they wick the moisture away.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend them. So Action Bikes and Outdoors in Milford, go on out there and check out and get yourself a pair of Darn Tough Socks. Get this, they're American made. They're guaranteed for life. My feet aren't guaranteed for life. Well, I guess they kind of are, my life.
What's the definition of life?
Chip?
Oh,
Chip?
We are going to be very, very philosophical here. Let's open this up.
Is it life until you get your first hole? Is it
In the
life?
sock?
Yeah. What is the life of a sock?
What is the
I've
life
always
of a
wondered
sock,
that. What do they mean by lifetime guarantee?
Well,
Right.
Seems open to interpretation.
It sure is, because you could get one of those threads and you pull on it, and all of a sudden
It's no longer.
it's
It's now a roll of thread.
you got it. So lifetime guarantee.
But that sounds like a great idea too.
Yeah.
well, they're good socks, Darn Tough Socks. Check them out. Go out and see TC at Action Bikes and Outdoors in
Or
Milford.
if you're even shopping places like Walmart and not sure where to find socks, you're not going to normally find them in the clothing section. Go into the sporting goods section. See what the hunters wear. You'll feel that's a nice thicker wool sock. Or if a lot of people are allergic to wool or don't like the feel of wool, there are acrylics that are used. That really does wick away moisture.
Quick story here, as we are at the Army Surplus Store in Port Jervis. We've been selling wool socks here for forever, and the military issued wool socks for forever and a day. And there are 2 segments of our customer base that come in. There are guys that love those socks. I wore them all through the days in the uniform, and I love them. I need more, and they'll buy them by the 6-pack or the 12-pack. But then there's other people that come in, like you said, like, oh, I can't stand wool. It makes me itchy. So we have different varieties of socks here as well that you can come in and check out and get yourself all set up. But you're right, though, Mike. Having a couple pair of socks on, especially when the conditions are so cold, is a great way to prepare yourself for being out in the outdoors.
And you never want to stop to change socks. It is cold out there.
No, it is so cold out there. You don't want
Is
to
this
do
January?
that. Is it?
It feels like January.
It feels like it. Anyways, you know what's too important, Tom?
Chip, tell us. What's
so
important?
when you're shopping for your footwear, and we're discussing the amount of socks we're wearing, when you go to try on your boot, your hiking boot, and so forth, you got to remember that you're going to have multiple layers of socks on your foot. So when you put your foot into that boot in the store and you have that one layer of sock on, it may feel comfy, cozy, but when you're going to put those couple layers on and then you put your foot in that boot, it may feel like, ooh, this boot's too small for me now. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with that, right? You have to account for that thickness.
Oh, sure,
of the sock,
sure. But also consider that your boot, is it insulated or not insulated?
Right, yeah.
If you're going to, if they're not insulated and you need to insulate, then yes, you need to wear multiple layers of socks. Generally, the boots I wear are all hiking boots, really good hiking boots. And I will wear I make sure that they fit summer and winter, regardless of the socks I have on.
Okay.
So there you go. Make sure that when you're trying your boots on, make sure they're comfortable for you. Make sure they fit right. Tie them up, lace them up, give them a shot. And then now that you got those boots, now that you got the layers, you got your high vis, you got hydration, because of course everyone's got to bring a bottle of water, at least one bottle with them when they hike.
You must, yes.
Let's get you out there. Mike, let's talk about it. Let's get people out into the woods. Let's get them on the trails. Let's talk about the upcoming events that are coming up. The Outdoor Club of Port Jervis has a variety of events that are coming up. Some include working and helping make the trails a better place. Others involve you coming out and enjoying and having fun. But let's start with today. It's Black Friday.
Black Friday, but also full moon.
But that's right. It may be Black Friday in the stores, but there's not going to be a darkness in the sky because it is the full moon tonight. Mike, tell us about it.
It was beautiful last night, too.
It was.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. It was an intro to the full moon. Actually started at 12:41 and continues until 12:41 tonight. We would have loved to have had a hike on Thanksgiving, but most people don't after a meal want to come out.
I could have went through the trails with my turkey leg in my hand saying, Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am. No?
And so tonight at 7 p.m., we are doing a full moon hike, no turkey legs in hand, but we are doing a full moon hike starting at parking lot 2 up in Elks Brox Park. In fact, if you look at the kiosk now, you'll begin to see we put new signage in there. We've moved things around inside, and now there's a semi-permanent marker at the top that shows that you are in Elks Brox Park, or this is parking lot number 2, trailhead 2, and the actual address of that location. So what we're doing is tonight we're all meeting at parking lot 2, which is the top of Skyline Drive. It's the actual address, 201 Skyline Drive.
How about that? Send a postcard.
And if you put that into the...
GPS, well, it depends. Some of them have updated that. I think it's MapQuest, and somebody else did not update it yet. But some of them have updated that address in there.
So come on out tonight.
Yep.
And the hike will begin at 7 o'clock.
7
Mike,
o'clock.
Chip, and myself, we're all going to be there.
It's going to be chilly.
It'll
It
be
will be
cold.
chilly.
We're going to touch base about that. But let's talk. It's going to be in parking lot 2. Come up.
Parking lot 2.
We want the hike to begin around 7 o'clock. So come up around 6:45. Get yourself ready to go. Let's talk about the intensity of this hike. Do I need rappelling ropes? Do I need to bring
No, it's going to be easy to moderate. It depends on the crowd that comes. I try to make it more of right in the middle between easy and moderate, because I like people to experience the trails. So we do take the trails. But if need be, if it's a lot of kids and all that, hopefully we'll have a number of us from the club there that we can actually have 2 different routes to take. The easier route would be if people have strollers and little kids, we'll go up the roadway. But the more advanced, we take them on the actual trails. We wind our way up to the cliff area and to Point Peter. And that's where you're actually viewing the moon from. Also looking over the city. Sky should be pretty good tonight. Some clouds, but for the most part clear. And the hike will generally be about an hour and a half.
It's going to be cold, so be prepared.
Be prepared.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. This is the best way that I know to get people interested to come out to the park and the trails, because it's different. Nowhere else around the area, the region, the state for this matter, are you going to get a guided hike through some beautiful trails and on the full moon. And I know it's talked about, my friends in Orange County government, when I'm in meetings in Goshen, it is the event that I always talk about, and trying to convince more and more of them to come on over here and check it out, because there's no other club and there's no other activity or an event like that in Orange County where at night, and not to belittle taking a hike at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but there's something about being on a hike at the nighttime with being led by a guide and then coming to the apex of the Elks Brox Park at the moment where the moon just is spectacular in view. Mike, we'll bring our phones. We can bring our cameras, right?
Yes. In fact, I was going to say last week we were talking about bringing cameras and phones out to take pictures of the area. And one of the nice things about doing the Elks Brox full moon hike is you're getting a different view of the entire area. So many people have never seen the area at night from that elevation. And it's a great view all the way around.
It's beautiful.
But keep in mind that if you're taking pictures, depending on the temperature, your fingers will get cold. So always put on gloves that's going to be easy take off and put on, especially if you have a camera or your phone in tow that you're going to be taking images with.
There you go. And we'll all have time when we get to the parking lot area or the flagpole area to take all the pictures that we want of the moon and overlooking the city. Mike, you're going to give us some photo tips up there.
I will, definitely. One of the first ones is always turn off your flash. So many things like that are automatic. And the reason you're turning them off is that the cameras internally adjust for a flash, and they'll generally use infrared to see an object, adjust the flash according to that object. And since you're going to be shooting the city or shooting the moon, it cannot read that. And so it adjusts the aperture and timing of the picture, thinking it's going to give it a full flash. Turn off the flash, and then you'll get a much better image from it.
I noticed too, Mike, when I'm trying to take a picture with my phone up there, sometimes I position the camera to take the photo, and it doesn't seem to want to focus it correctly.
No, because it doesn't see anything.
It's not recognizing.
So most of the time with your smartphones now, depending on the app you're using, but generally speaking, those apps in your phones, if you tap on the screen to what you want to, you just see it on your screen, tap on that image, and it'll focus to that.
Okay.
And generally they'll focus to infinity, and that's what you really want, is infinity.
Like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. And in a lot of cameras too, like DSLRs, especially Canon DSLRs, they have an infinity setting on it, and most people think it's rotating to infinity, but it's just shy of that. And that's where you'll get a crystal clear image.
So it's infinity -1.
That's infinity -1. Well, maybe 0.4.
See?
That's pretty close. But that's what's so great about the full moon hike is you get to go out there and you're led by guides. Mike's going to be leading the way. And Mike's got a skill set in the photography world, too. So he'll be able to answer some of your questions. And come on out.
In fact, tonight we're going to try something new. We're going to, while we're hiking, I have a device. It's called an Osmo. And the Osmo will hold my phone, and it's on a gyro. And it'll hold it level no matter what I'm hiking, turning, whatever. It'll hold it in one position. And I'm going to try to do some live video tonight that will stream on Facebook.
Oh boy, Chip! You know what that means, Mike? Chip's going to be right by your side.
Oh, he's going to be behind. He's going to be way back. Way back.
Wait a minute. That will mean you have the ability.
I'm disabling the microphone.
You have the ability to possibly show everyone my goodies that I bring on hikes.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Well, the hike is open for everyone tonight. Mike, how much money do we need to bring to take on this hike?
Nothing. But do bring warm clothing, hats, warm shoes, warm boots, warm socks, hand warmers if you have them. If not, I'll have a few available.
So I'm going to turn to Chip now. Chip, I got in my car this morning. I had my cup of coffee. Mike, of course, always is gracious enough to bring us coffee here.
Thank you, Mike.
You're
welcome.
Reached into the back seat of my car. I keep a little stash there. I pulled out my bottle of water.
He keeps a little
frozen
stash.
My bottle of
stash.
Yeah, my stash. My bottle of water was a bottle of ice.
And that's the last thing you want on a hike.
And so for tonight's hike, people might say, I'll just throw a bottle of water in the car today and I'll remember to bring it tonight.
No.
Not so much, right, guys?
That's right.
No. You want, like we've talked about in the past, room temperature liquid. And that's because Mike has stated in the past that if you're getting a cold or hot beverage, it tends to constrict the muscles of the throat and it'll inhibit your ability to breathe. Correct, Mike?
That's correct.
Yeah. So it's important to have like a room temperature type of beverage with you. Water. Is always the best. The best is water,
Well, tonight after the hike, hot chocolate or coffee will definitely be something that most people will go for.
Mm-hmm.
But that's tonight. So the full moon hike is tonight. It's free. Come on out.
Free.
And enjoy. You'll get to meet Mike. You'll get to meet Chip if you want. Chip's actually going to be there.
Are you coming tonight, Tom?
I am definitely
Excellent.
there. I will be there.
You can meet Tom.
Yeah, you can meet me too. Yeah,
Tom,
sure.
I will also have some club items to offer to the people if they're interested in, purchasing an item.
And that's what we're going to talk about real quick, because then we want to go back to the events that are taking place tomorrow and through the holiday season.
Yeah, let's talk about the events, and then we'll talk.
Yeah,
about
let's do
that.
the events. Yes.
So tonight, yesterday was Thanksgiving. Everyone loaded up on turkey. Today, you're out shopping. Maybe you go home this afternoon, get yourself a turkey sandwich. Next thing you know, your toes up on your couch. You're like, okay, here comes the whole weekend. I'm not going to do a thing. I'm not going to move. And then something hits you. You're like, wait a minute. No, I have to move. I have to go. I will be there. I'm on the full moon hike. Boom. You're coming out tonight for the full moon hike. Meet us about 6:45 at parking lot 2, which is right up there on your way to Elks Brox Park. Parking lot 2, you take the hike tonight. Beautiful hike. You're going to see the city from a vantage point and a view at the nighttime maybe you haven't noticed before. So that's it. Weekend's over, right, Mike? Done, right? Yeah. Back to work Monday?
No. In fact, if Melissa's still online, if she could let us know if she's doing her run tomorrow, while I'm telling you about another activity, which is at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is up on Boxbaum Road, exactly 501 Boxbaum Road, which is our parking lot 6. That's adjacent to Deer Park Dam. Locals used to know it as Reservoir 3. We will be continuing work on painted trails. That's the newest trail we have in the park. We need a number of people out there. It's not hard work that we're doing, but we will be raking, trying to clear rocks and roots. We were out there last weekend clearing a new section of trail in a roughened condition. Now it's refining it to a nice smooth trail. We do, if you have hard rakes, what they call rock rakes, which is your standard hard rake, or if you have a McLeod. If you don't know what a McLeod is, that's a trail rake. If you don't have any of those things, come on out. Anyhow, we have club ones to give you to use. But the more hands, the better. It'll be a little bit tough because the ground will be a little frozen. Not solid, but it will be a little frozen. And always, in the case of these events, for these activities such as the trail dig, keep up with us on Facebook or online at ocopj.org, just in case last-minute cancellations. But we'd love to have you out there at 9 a.m. I'll be out there. I'm going to talk this guy into coming out. He's been wanting to do a trail dig. He doesn't know what one is.
I have.
He doesn't know how to bend over and run a rake. This will help him at home when he fall.
Well, from what I understand from our earlier conversation, he knows how to rake snow.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I do rake snow.
So tomorrow it's the event taking place up in Sparrowbush.
Correct.
Melissa says she'll be running tomorrow.
Okay, great. So 9 a.m. at Reservoir at Brewers Reservoir, which locals know as Reservoir 1. That's the end of Reservoir Avenue. We've got 2 parking lots there, one on the right just before the gate, then one to the left. Take the roadway up. That's our official parking lot number 5. I know Melissa and Peter Tomasi lead that run on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Dress warmly. It'll be chilly tomorrow. Yeah. But I hear that the weather's warming up over the weekend, so that should be really good.
So it's set to be a good weekend. Tonight starts with the full moon hike. Tomorrow you have the painted
apron trail.
Painted apron trail work. And Melissa will be running with the crew tomorrow. So that's Saturday. Okay, now we're...
And painted apron, by the way, is the reason for that name is it's historic. There's a historic name about painted aprons. I'll let people look it up. We don't have the time now to go into the detail of it, but it has to do with the Indian era.
Oh, no doubt about it. I can bring in my friend Frank Salvati. He can tell you all about that. And that has to do with the Indian raid back in 1779. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We'll get lost in history now. Yeah. But that's happening tomorrow is work on the Painted Aprons Trail. But also Melissa and the crew, they'll be running down at Reservoir 1. So that's Saturday.
Which is also Brewers Reservoir.
Brewers Reservoir.
The end of Reservoir Avenue.
Mike, you'll get it through my thick head one of these days.
It's amazing how it's catching on already, though.
McFly. McFly.
Then Sunday is our big day.
And so now we've had you out on a hike Friday night. Saturday morning, you've grabbed that McLeod because everyone has a McLeod in their closet.
Yeah.
I think that's where Chip got his hat from, his McLeod in the closet.
Yeehaw!
But you're either coming out to help out tomorrow if you'd like up in Sparrowbush, or you're taking the run with Melissa here at Reservoir 1, also known as Brewers Reservoir.
Now you got it.
So that's
You're catching on.
that's Saturday. Sunday, I'm done. I'm cooked. I'm finished. I got nothing to do. I'm going toes up on the couch.
No, sirree.
No. There's no toes up on the couch this weekend because Sunday, you guys, instead of being on the trails, you're going to be in town.
Yes, indeed. Board of Tourism and the city has an event down on Front Street in Port Jervis, which is all day on Sunday. I believe it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's Chris Kindlemark. And we will have our tent set up. In fact, you will see we will have a double tent set up. We've offered to share one of our tents with Cottage in the Pines because it was last year, based upon last year, the wind and how cold. I wanted to make sure that they had some walls to protect them in the wind. And we just got a brand new tent and brand new walls, so we're going to set them up as a tandem tent. And we will have our maps available, our signage, showing you the trails in the park. We'll be showing you concept drawings of the pump track, which we're moving forward with hopefully for construction starting in very early spring in 2019. And that's all being funded by the club. We also have all of our goods, everything, our hats, our shirts, our sweatshirts. They'll be for sale down there at Chris Kindlemark. But at the same time, I'd like to ask that if anybody cares to come down, join us, come on down and speak with us, join in with what we're doing down there. But if anybody wants to volunteer to stand by with us and distribute things as people go by, it'd be very helpful.
Yeah.
We're going to start setting up between 7 and 7:30, and we'll be finished about 7 o'clock.
And this is where the club is actually going to have a nice table set up. You know, throughout the summer, the club has been at the farmers market, and the farmers market's been a great venue to put out information and tell people more about the events and activities that the club hosts and participates in. But this Sunday, more than that, you mentioned the gear. This is your chance to not only be part of the club and sign up and be part of the email, but also to show your pride in your city, the city of Port Jervis, and the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis by buying yourself any one of the products. Yeah, I'll be shameless right now. We're talking about winter hats. We're talking about baseball hats, T-shirts, long sleeve T-shirts, hooded sweatshirts, and some polo shirts.
We'll even have short sleeve T-shirts.
And short sleeve T-shirts because the weather's going to get warmer as the weekend goes along. So you might want a short sleeve on Sunday. But all of these products will be made available for purchase Sunday. So come on down. And the great thing about it is you don't have to bring in a big pile of cash. Chip, you got the reader, right?
I do have the square reader.
So we can make all purchases either by debit or credit card. Cash, of course, as always, welcome, and PayPal. But come on down to Chris Kindlemark, downtown Port Jervis, all day Sunday. The club will be set up. Can't miss the club. Got the beautiful green tent, says Outdoor Club of Port Jervis on it. Come on down, learn more about the club events and activities. But more importantly, this is your chance to show off the pride that you have in your city and this club of ours by buying a T-shirt. It's a great gift. A hooded sweatshirt, Mike, you're wearing it proudly. Mine and yours are just a little bit different in size.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, I'm getting there, though.
Slightly.
Man, now that this operation's over with, I'm trying to lose this
and I'm sporting the short sleeve shirt with
and that's why I wanted to bring up about the short sleeve shirts, because it's not just summer wear.
Right.
A lot of people do this. They'll wear a long sleeve liner or even long underwear, and if they'd rather put on, it's easier to put on a short sleeve T-shirt than just trying to get a long sleeve shirt on over top.
Chip, he doesn't talk it. He lives it. He's dressed in layers.
Oh, yeah.
I am.
He's multiple layers.
Most of the time you may, when I'm out and about, find me wearing or sporting our Outdoor Club of Port Jervis wear. And if you do see me wearing a clothing item out in the public and you're interested, just stop me and say, hey, Chip, I'd like to get what you're wearing. I can get the item for you. You're not going to get the one that I'm wearing. Although, here's an interesting concept, and I'll just briefly say this.
Listen, there are young people listening.
Listen, if someone approaches me and I am wearing an Outdoor Club of Port Jervis item, I'd be glad
to sell it off your back.
Yes, for a nice donation.
And autograph
and
it.
I will autograph it.
I knew you were heading
I will
to that.
autograph it, you know?
Let's stick to actually making sales and not scaring people, Chip.
Okay, but someone who gets that item would frame that item, and it will be worth something someday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you would be framed all right. I know that. But this Sunday, and we're joking about it, but
Yeah, we
seriously,
are.
Come on down to the Chris Kindle Mart, and that's downtown Port Jervis, right there on Jersey Avenue, all day Sunday. Buy a T-shirt, buy a sweatshirt, buy a woolly hat. Show your pride for the club, but also they make great gifts. I know that a couple of weeks ago we gave a shirt away to our friend Cindy, who has recently retired and moved away. She's back in town. She said she wants to come and get a couple of the orange running hats, or the woolly hats. So they're great gift items. She's going to give them, I think, to her grandkids.
And I have one item that I want to plug.
All right, Mike. Plug away.
So every year, my wife tries to come up with different ideas. And last year, we had a holiday fundraiser, and she made these little ornaments and things out of the older trail markers that we had, and she hung them all over. This year, she opted to go create with acrylic squares and circles ornaments that have the difficulty symbols hand painted on each one. And so we thought what we do is decorate the tent and also offer those for sale, just for the fun of it.
I got a great.
I'm going to get a couple of those for my tree.
Oh,
at
you're
home.
going to buy 2 dozen.
For my tree at home.
Yes, you are.
I'm very interested
Yes,
in
you
that.
are.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have her make a necklace for Chip with the most difficult symbol, and we can wear that around. When
Are you calling me difficult?
Just
Is that what you're saying, Tom?
Just saying.
Okay.
But those items will be available on Sunday?
Yes, they'll be available on Sunday.
Great. So come on down. It's Chris Kindle Mart, all day Sunday, downtown Port Jervis.
Great event.
And there'll be plenty of other vendors and activities there. But it's a great way to kick off the holiday season and a great way to end Thanksgiving weekend, as Thanksgiving was great yesterday. It's going to be lots of activities today and tomorrow, and that's the capper on Sunday. So that's Sunday. Okay, what happens? The outdoor club shuts its doors. It's closed for the winter. Is that the case, Mike? No, I don't think so.
No, but on more technical issues, the following Thursday, of which I hope Mary Ann or Kelly Decker can let me know, because I kind of dropped the ball on it. But we have a meeting a club meeting on Thursday, hopefully at City Hall in the council chambers. That would be at 7 p.m. And it's a critical meeting because all the board positions, we have 7 members on the board, all the positions are open for nominations for the year 2019. We're opening up nominations on Thursday, so that in the event of our fourth Thursday of the month, where we hold our meetings, after Christmas is going to be difficult. So in case we do not have that meeting, we're opening nominations this meeting, with the actual vote being in January. Then whoever is voted into those positions will take over for 2019. And then after that, we have 2 big events coming up.
Mike,
one that you don't know about yet, Tom. But
before you get into those, can you just talk real quick? And you talked about the technical stuff of having that meeting.
Yep.
Just let people know a little bit. The club's not just about hosting events and having fun and maybe building trails. The club actually is very much responsible as the steward.
Yes, we're considered to be the stewards of the watershed trails and recreational areas, and we do maintain as best we can with limited resources of contributions and donations. We create, we build, we maintain all the trail system. We even go beyond that. We try to make sure that the city does not even have to look at coming out to pick up trash, that we take care of all of that, and also in developing other projects in the Port Jervis area for the benefit of, for the most part, for the locals. This being a pump track down at Riverside Park, trails in the woods down in Riverside Park, looking up in Elks Brock's area of developing lands up there to further the recreational facilities that we were trying to develop and offer to the people. And we've got a couple of things brewing up there, which I think will work out.
So the club meeting is Thursday, and everyone's welcome to come and attend. I know sometimes meetings can be boring. Mike, you run an exciting meeting, and it'll be a very important meeting because, as you mentioned, there'll be an election for the officers.
Well, the one thing I really want to push, and it works every now and then, but it's really important to me that anybody who wants to may attend our meetings. We'd love to hear your input as to where we should head, what you would like to see being developed overlooked or not paid attention to. I think if it involves recreation, come on out and tell us what you would like to see, and we'll try to make it happen.
Well, that's good. And that meeting will be Thursday. By the way, big shout out. We have my friend Frank. He's listening in. Good morning, Frank. And the mayor himself. He's just tuned in.
Hey, good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Kelly, I dropped the ball. I need to talk to Marianne and see if Thursday night's available at the City Hall for a meeting.
And this is what's great about this technology. Mike, you could put a meeting together right here as we're having the show. So that's Thursday. Come on out to the club meeting, and you can learn more about the board and who's running the show. Of course, Mike, you're the president. Chip is the unofficial but official ambassador. And there are a whole host of other officers whose jobs are very important. And
can I list them?
Absolutely, Mike, please.
Currently, our vice president is Jimmy Hendry. Jimmy, I really give a shout out to, because Jimmy is, of all people, Jimmy is one of the guys, if not the guy, who started this whole club 2.5 years ago. And I really give a great shout out to him for what he's helped develop in this club. Then we have Director of Promotion, which is T.C. Crawford. We have Director of Membership, which is Philip Johnson. We have Director of Activities, which is Ben Cheek. Our Treasurer is the wonderful Sue Gillander, who is great at maintaining all these records for us. And then I have to give another big shout out to Alyssa Sanchez Torre, who... Torn, right. No, yeah. Alyssa, I can't think this morning. Alyssa Robbie. Oh, man.
You're all twirly there, Mike.
That's Alyssa Sanchez Torn.
Correct.
She is our secretary, and she has been great about collecting our mail, correspondence getting out, letting us know of things coming up that we receive in the mails. And unfortunately, it'd be nice to keep people in these positions. So I want to see that people get nominated in these positions who want to be in these positions for next year. And that's really key on Thursday, is to come on out, give us your thoughts on what you'd like to see us be doing. But at the same time, for the members, that the members would nominate those that they would like to see in any of those board positions.
And the growth of this club in terms of the amount of miles of trail, the quality of trail, is all testament to the quality of people that are on the board, and also the many volunteers who maybe aren't, you don't have to say you want to be a board member, but you want to be part of the club, you want to help. Hey, listen.
Well, it's like our trail committee. That's headed by Adam Hubbard. He's what I call our master trail designer and builder. He serves as chairman of the trail committee. He goes out, creates these trails. We look at different areas to where we can develop trails, and then we have our fundraising committee, and that's headed by the one and great Bill Schill.
He's a great guy, Bill Schill, by the way. First time mentioned today.
And also Bob Gardner. The two of them handle our fundraising.
I heard they have a pretty good salesman selling all their swag right now.
Well, we've got our
who might that be?
Our ambassador.
The number one man himself, Chip. He's leading sales right now in terms of sweatshirt sales, hat sales, T-shirt sales, and more.
I'm just doing my part and happy to do it.
All right. Well, keep it up, buddy. We appreciate that. So, Mike, that's the board meeting on Thursday.
Yep.
But you said there's two other things coming up in December.
Yeah, two big things. Now, granted, pay attention to our ocopj.org website, and also on Facebook. Say that again.
It's Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. So it's ocopj.org. There you go. That's Outdoor Club of PortJervis.org. But also on Facebook, right? You can check them out, and that's the
Outdoor Club of Port Jervis.
All right.
On Facebook. And because we do have a lot of other activities coming up, hikes and all that. But the big activities that we're holding are, number one is the Santa Hike. Santa Hike will be on Saturday, December 15th. And this is open to everyone. There's no charge to it. The current plans are, and it's all based upon weather, we will take the families, take whoever comes out with the Santa Hike. We know a number of kids are already wanting to come out. We'll take them on a short hike through the woods. We'll go into the campground area, which is currently being refurbished, but it's wide open. We're going to have a nice little ring of fire going to keep people warm, and we'll have multiple tents set up. to where we're going to be serving a lot of hot drinks, cold drinks, a lot of refreshments, and hot dogs and
Cookies?
candies and well, of course, cookies. It's a
yeah.
hike with Santa. Santa
Yeah.
better have that bag of cookies with him.
Whoa.
And candy canes for everybody. So we're right now we're gathering up all the materials for this, and this will be happening at 10 a.m. on Saturday, December 15th.
And the event has already been posted on Facebook.
Yes.
It's on the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis website, but it's Saturday, December 15th. The hike begins at 10 a.m., so come on up between 9:30 9:45, and there'll be places to park.
That's correct.
And come on out. It's free, so bring the kids. The only thing we're going to ask is that maybe you get in touch with the club to let us know that you're coming.
Yeah, that'd be great. The either by contacting us at info@ocopj.org by email, or on Facebook. Leave a message on Facebook, or you can call our club number, which I don't remember offhand. If you could grab that map.
You want me to climb?
That's okay.
We got
but I'll give you my cell phone that I use for the club. That number is 845-858-1176. That's my business phone I use for the club. Feel free to contact me on that number or leave a message and just let us know if you're going to attend. That way we know approximately how many people will be there, how many to set up for. But one really true great shout out, and I'd love for you guys to come out, join us, to have fun, to meet Santa, to meet, I hear the Grinch is going to be there.
Ooh.
But also,
He's a mean one.
we have an organization that's helping us out, and Salvation Army will be coming up to serve hot chocolate and donuts as well.
Great.
Wow, that's
great.
awesome.
And so I'm hoping to talk to them, and I'd love for them to bring their kettle up there, and so we can have a kettle right next door and let everybody contribute. The Salvation Army is doing a great job.
They don't bring a kettle. We'll make sure that we
will have one available.
And any money donated will go to the Salvation Army that day for sure.
Yeah, the club. This is our way of giving back to the community for a holiday event. No matter what holiday that you celebrate, it's still a Santa hike, but it's a holiday to have everybody come out, join us, have some fun, have some things to eat, have some nice hot drinks, and just get to know everybody. And then, go ahead.
And you talk to the big guy himself. He's coming?
I hear he's coming. In fact, I know he's coming. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a Santa hike.
That's right.
We'd have to have a Grinch hike. And who would want to come to a Grinch hike?
No. But the big guy himself, Santa is. He said he's coming. That's awesome.
Right. Oh, the big guy is going to be there.
Oh.
Definitely. He's
will
already
be there.
he's already guaranteed it.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to be excited. Maybe maybe he can ride a mountain bike or something on the trail.
Yeah.
I doubt that, but no, he'll be out there.
He'll be
We're
wearing
going to keep
his
him on his feet.
appropriate footwear.
That's right.
He'll
It's
have-
in the woods.
He'll be wearing his appropriate footwear.
Good.
And
Good.
making sure everybody has a great time.
And if the Grinch is there, we'll make sure if the Grinch gets out of line, we take care of him.
He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
So, Mike, that's the Outdoor Club, the first annual Hike with Santa. It is Saturday, December 15th. Going to be spectacular.
Awesome event.
But, Mike, there's more.
Yes, the very next day, it's a busy weekend that weekend. The very next day, December 16th, Sunday night, starting at 6 p.m., running 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., the club will be holding our club holiday party, and that will be at Upfront Studios or Upfront Gallery down on Front Street. Members, friends, or even supporters of our club, come on out. It's a potluck event. We will have some refreshments available for everybody. But if you feel like joining us, come on, meet the members of the club, meet the families of the club between 6 and 10 p.m. on Sunday, December 16th. Once again, it would be great if you could notify us that you will be in attendance. Look on ocopj.org, the main page, and you'll see the listing for it. Bill Schill is leading this.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Yes, he is. For doing this, he sure
Oh,
is.
yeah. I already notified him.
Yeah.
I spoke with him. I booked 2 places. He said he put me down.
And this is a holiday. Once again, we Saturday is a holiday in my opinion, is a holiday party for the kids and families. Bring them out for the Santa hike. Sunday is for the adults. Come on by. This is not a fundraiser. This is actually just a holiday party. Hey, we'll gladly take your contributions, donations. We will have all of our GAC, as I call it, our goods to sell. And that's where we gain income, is from selling our goods. But come on by and meet everybody. And Deb has been so gracious at letting us use the upfront gallery. Bill Schill has been great at organizing all of this for us. So come on out and join us 6 to 10 p.m. on Sunday night, December 16th.
You know, putting my political hat on every now and then on these shows, one of the things that I have to do as an elected official is sometimes go to political fundraisers and political events. And sometimes they can be a little bit testing and trying. But this event, to come out to see the guys in the club with their hair down a little bit, relaxing and enjoying a holiday party, this is a nice night. So it's Sunday, December 16th, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Upfront Gallery on Front Street in Port Jervis. Just let us know you're going to come. But come down. You can hang out with Mike and Chip. I'll be there as well. And we can just chit-chat and have fun and just, kind of take in the whole year that it was, and maybe ask a couple questions. Hey, what's going on? What's the future of the club? But just more than anything, it's a great way to have some camaraderie and good times and some laughs.
Yep, and we'll have beverages for everybody, but it is a potluck event. So if you want to bring a dish, it'd be great.
Oh, I know what I'm bringing.
Chip, you bringing those potatoes?
No. My wife has...
Do not bring Tom Sexton potatoes. I tried them.
Oh, really?
2 bottles of vodka and mixed in mashed potatoes does not work.
Wow.
Because you need 3, right?
We're actually, my wife has agreed graciously to make a world famous sausage, peppers, and onions. So
world famous.
I guarantee you, if you've been down the Jersey Shore and you've tried them on the boardwalk, her peppers and sausage and onions are better by far than the boardwalk. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I am telling you, you will not be disappointed.
Wow.
So come on out to the event. Sample these sausage, peppers, and onions, and let us know, and all the other goodies that'll be there.
So it's a great night to get to meet some of the people and enjoy some camaraderie with the members of the Outdoor Club. That's Sunday, December 16th, 6 to 10, down at the Upfront Gallery in Port Jervis. Want to thank Deb because she's the boss lady down there.
She's great. And once again, also, if you want to let us know that you're coming, or if you need more details, info at ocopj.org is a great way to email us, or text us or message us on Facebook. And also, if you look at ocopj.org website, you'll see the reference to Bill Schill, who's maintaining all the list.
There you go.
And what people are bringing, who's attending, how many people are coming. And I think this will be a really nice holiday party.
He also asked me to make sure that I have a serving spoon and for the sausage, peppers, and onions. So I make sure that I'll have that,
Okay, then.
And also I'm going to...
you can't have my fork, though.
No.
Because if you don't know the story, but the whole thing about no good deed goes unpunished.
Oh, sure.
So I've been up working in the campground area trying to keep going on our project up there. And I drive back there, and somebody happened to lose a Rogers stainless steel,
It's
a really
true.
nice stainless steel fork that punctured my rear tire in my truck, and I ended up having to replace all 4 tires, and that cost me $1,000 for tires, but one Rogers fork, and I keep that on my stoop at home to remind me to watch out for forks.
We might need to send that fork out for DNA analysis.
It's funny you use the term stoop, because that was a term that I'm familiar with because I grew up in Jersey City, and there's a lot of brownstones downtown. My grandmother owned a brownstone.
Stoop,
and she would say, "You boys do not move from that stoop." And, so just a little sidebar there.
That's all good. Hey, Melissa says she's bringing cheesecake.
All right.
Cheesecake, yummy.
So there we go. Thanks, Melissa. Want to give a shout out to our friend Sherry as well. She's listening, and she says good morning to the guys. So good morning, Sherry. Hope
Good
you're
morning,
well.
Sherry. Sherry, baby, Sherry.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
There
That
it
was
goes.
pretty darn good, if you ask me.
Nobody
boy.
asked you. So, Mike, we're going to recap it now because it's time to get out there and take advantage of the Black Friday sales.
Yes.
Let's talk about the events coming up, starting with the very special and exciting full moon hike tonight.
Okay, full moon hike tonight. This will be up at Elks Brock's parking lot number 2, which is the top of Skyline Drive, 1.25 miles up the hill. On your right, there'll be a parking area there where the kiosk is. That starts at 7 p.m. Will be approximately an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on the cold. It'll be an easy to moderate. There will be a little hills up and down, so get ready for that. Dress appropriately. Tomorrow morning, we have a 9 a.m. run at Brewers Reservoir, which is Reservoir 1, and that is at the end of Reservoir Avenue. That's with Melissa Decker and Peter Tomasi. Also at 9 a.m., for those who want to put their back into what we do, we have a trail build, which is going to originate from parking lot 6, which is 501 Bucksbaum Road. That's our parking lot 6. Meet there, and we will take you down to the new Painted Apron Trail, which is in development. We need hard rock rakes as well as McLeods. If you don't have any, but you want to join us, come on out. We'll have some tools available for you. That's at 9 a.m. on Saturday. And then at Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. through 5 p.m., will be Chris Kindlemart. The Board of Tourism has Chris Kindlemart down on Front Street. We will have our tent set up down there, distributing maps and other materials, as well as selling our goods. And that's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If anybody wants to volunteer to help us down there, we'll be setting up from 7:30 a.m. and then tearing down after the 5 p.m.
Loadout, right, Mike?
What I call a loadout.
Loadout.
We have load in and load out. Load in is in the morning and load out is in the evening.
Let me explain something. Load in is generally low key and not as stressful. Load out becomes, let's get this stuff packed up and let's go.
So anybody that doesn't know the terminology, it actually comes from doing shows, be it whether it's Broadway, rock and roll, or any type of show. We call it a load in when you're setting up, a load out when you're loading out. So load ins generally will take 4 to 8 hours, and then a load out generally will take 30 to 60 minutes.
And that's what I was getting to, because that's the beauty of it.
Well, I know that over the summer, the load in took 4 to 6 hours because Chip was down at the farmer's market, and Bill Schill was setting the tent
He's
up all
a
by
great
himself.
guy, by the way. Bill Schill set the tent up by himself. I was amazed because,
you sat in the director's chair, and he's setting the tent up with those heavy-weighted bags. And then when Mike was back on the mend after surgery, you had Mike set it up.
He was doing a true managerial type thing for his
That was one day only.
client. Yeah.
You guys abandoned me the other times.
Abandon is such a harsh word.
But that's Sunday. That's the Chris
Sunday.
Kindlemart.
And then please don't forget, December 15th, Santa Hike.
Santa Hike,
And
yes.
that will be at parking lot number 2, Elks Brock's Park. Depending on the number of people arriving there, we'll have various parking areas available to you. There are porta-johns up there available for those kids that need to use the facilities. That will be at December 15th, 10 a.m., Elks Brock.
And the big guy has committed. He'll
And
be
the
there.
big
He
guy
has. I think we have some correspondence from him somewhere. I think Alyssa might have received a letter from the big guy himself saying he will be there.
and I hear there's going to be a counter offer there, which is the Grinch is going to counter Santa.
He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
And then the next day, December 16th, down at the Upfront Gallery, we're holding our holiday party, potluck party, and that will be at the Upfront Gallery on Front Street, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that's pretty much for adults.
There you go. All these events are available to read more about online. Check us out. It's OCOPJ.org. That's the website. And those letters stand for the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, OCOPJ.org. But easily, you can check it all out on Facebook. Go on Facebook and check out Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, and you can get up to speed with all the events and activities that are taking place. So, guys, this is episode 11, our
11.
Black Friday edition. I hope you guys enjoyed the show this morning. It was a lot of fun. We set it up in a little different aspect today. Always, every week, trying to make this show better and better. So I hope that you guys were comfortable here this morning.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
And for everyone that listens in every Friday morning, thank you guys so much for making us a part of your morning, and especially on this Black Friday as you're still burning off that turkey dinner and you get ready to take on those sales. Why don't you join us tonight on that very special full moon hike? The full moon hike tonight. So we're going to start around 6:45. The hike starts at 7, and that's at Parking Lot 2 up at Elks Brox Park. So come on out. It's free of charge. It'll be a great way to meet some of us and have some fun. And if you enjoy what we do here every Friday morning, let us know. If you don't like what we're doing every Friday morning, you can come join us and help fix it. But come on out tonight. And as Chip said, he'll have some gear available for purchase tonight.
I will, yes.
So if you're not set up yet, get yourself set up with some beautiful Outdoor Club of Port Jervis swag. For Mike Ward and Chip, it is episode 11 in the book. Guys, thanks so much.
Can I add one thing to this episode?
Mike, you can add as much as you'd like.
Given that it's Black Friday and there are a lot of people out buying things, don't forget to check out our local retailers here in Port Jervis. There are so many great new shops in the area. Even the long timers here, the Richards Military, all the new shops downtown, Foundry 42, just to mention a couple, Foundry 42. Everybody has something unique downtown, and check them out. Spend some monies down there. I know I'm going to be taking my wife down there this afternoon to look for a few things. And
I saw a few great items in Foundry 42 that when I was getting my Americano coffee, I was quite impressed, and I think I may be going down there to see if those items are still available because they are great.
And so many great restaurants too.
Restaurants,
you want to take a break from shopping.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not paid to plug anybody or anything.
Nope.
I just there's so many great things happening in Port Jervis. Let's take advantage of getting down there and supporting everyone in town because they're doing a tremendous job at creating these things for the benefit of the city and for themselves.
And also, if you've been downtown, the music is playing on the speaker system.
Yeah,
Did you check?
great.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's great. Kelly
great.
Decker.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
great.
it.
Well, just remember the city of Port Jervis starts up here in Tri-States, and there are businesses that have been here for over 40 years.
Yeah.
So start by getting any beverages you need and any outdoor supplies you need, and lunch over here. There are businesses that have existed for more than 40 years, and we welcome all the new businesses downtown as well. But downtown is just one portion of Port Jervis, so come on out. And we want to thank those people who have helped make the club a great success. You know, of course, we mentioned Tom Sexton from Tom's Auto. He's one of the best mechanics you'll ever meet. The best thing about Tom is he's straight up. He'll tell you what you need. He'll tell you what you don't need. And he'll get you set up straight. So maybe while you're out shopping and purchasing, maybe you go down and see his shop and schedule yourself an oil change. Or get out to Milford and you can see our friend TC at Outdoor Action Bikes and Outdoors, as he's got all the supplies you need. And we want to thank Terry and Joe and Amy here at Richard's Army Surplus. The Army Surplus store in Port Jervis has been around for over 40 years for all your outdoor needs. You don't have to be in the military to come in the store. You just got to be someone that wants to come in and take a look around, and I guarantee you'll find something you need here, along with so many of the other small businesses that you mentioned downtown. So be out today, start locally, and you can start downtown, make your way all through town. And when you walk into a business or you see a merchant, get a conversation going with them, and you'll find out they're a lot similar to you and so many of your neighbors, because that's what most of these business owners are. They
and
live
one
in
of the places
community.
I want to check out is the Restaurant Supply on Front Street. I'm the cook at home. I want to go check this place out.
Great. We were in that place about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Gentleman behind the counter was a great guy. He says he lives in Long Island. He comes up and works the shop. And I thought they'd have just big equipment there. They have stuff for your own
Everything,
kitchen.
yeah.
Everything. They had a row of cutting boards. I'm like, oh man, I got one for everybody now, I think.
And that's what makes this whole city and the way that it's growing with the businesses, small businesses, they offer something for everybody. You just walk into the shop, take a look around. Hey, I needed one of those. There you go.
There you go. So make sure you're out and about, and thank all those merchants as well, because they are the backbone of our community. They are the ones who generate so much that keeps our city alive. So
in
we
many
want to
ways,
thank
the
all them.
unsung heroes.
Yes.
No doubt about it. And it's not easy. I'll tell you from firsthand experience, running and owning your own business is definitely not easy, but the rewards are great when you see customers come in and they appreciate the goods. And if you sell quality goods, you'll stick around for a long time.
Except for when Chip comes into this guy's shop here. He's like, oh, here he comes again.
Well, Chip, you bring all those friends with you, and they just take up all the space singing and telling funny stories. So,
Boy, I'm so glad I'm near the door.
Yeah, you can make a hasty exit, man.
All right, guys. So that's
Which
going
way is it? Stage right.
Yeah.
That's it. Mike is
Stage right. Yeah.
Mike in this setup is exit stage right. So.
Stage right, even. Heavens to Murgatroyd.
So I want to thank Mike. I want to thank Chip. And guys, get out there and, keep your money local this weekend and go out and do some local shopping. But also be part of the club in all of your activities this weekend, starting tonight with the Full Moon Hike. We'll see you tonight. Get up there about 6:45, and we'll take off at 7. I guarantee you, and this is a Tom Faggione guarantee, you come out tonight and you participate in the hike, you're going to want to come back and enjoy more of the activities and events the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis presents.
And that Tom Faggione guarantees your presence tonight?
100%.
All right.
And you can take that to the bank. So I'll see you guys tonight. Hey, guys, get out of here so I can open the store.
Okay, Tom, no problem.
Hey, thank you so much,
Thanks, Tom.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right. For Outdoor Club President Mike Ward, and, of course, the #1 ambassador himself, our good buddy Chip, I'm Tom Faggione saying that we're going to put the end here on episode 11 of the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis Weekly Trail Report. We want to thank everybody who makes this show a possibility, and that includes Richard's Army Surplus, 264 East Main Street in Port Jervis, the area's only true Army Surplus store. Give them a buzz, 856-1911. That's 856-1911. Richard's Army Surplus will be open all weekend long for all your outdoor needs. Take care, everybody. God bless. Have a great weekend.